Top of the morning to you, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of Silverstones. My name is Jordan Headley, and today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk, why I think he's such a genius in a lot of ways, but specifically to Twitter and what kind of impact it'll have on the future, and how I see Twitter, the voting use on Twitter, impacting our future potentially, if done properly and if things go how I see them going. So maybe to give a bit of a background in case you've been living under a rock or a stone, Elon purchased Twitter about a month ago now, I think. And we've all seen the changes that he's made to Twitter, assuming people who are watching this are Twitter users. And some people think that that's good. Some people think that that's bad. Personally, I believe that it's incredible, but for a lot of reasons. And so what have we seen so far? We've seen him bring back users that had been suspended from Twitter, assuming they hadn't broken any laws. So that's promoting the freedom of speech. We've seen him talking about different verification badges, you'd say, I guess, or the check marks. He's already changed the fact that anybody, regardless of who you are, has to pay to be verified. And it's not just to be verified, it's so that you can contribute to different things and unlock different features within Twitter. So even the White House, I think, has to pay $8 a month to have their little blue check mark there. I haven't done it. I probably won't do it. I wouldn't mind doing it for like a month just to see what the difference is for Twitter Blue. And but he's also talked about different types of badges. And people within the Bitcoin community believe strongly that there will be an orange badge to prove you're a real person in a sense. There are other ways of doing that, but I think that this would be a good way to do it. So what would that look like? It would be if I was using Twitter and I wanted to get an orange badge and verify myself on there and unlock different features within Twitter and be able to contribute to different conversations on Twitter, I would have to deposit or pay a certain amount of Satoshis to be part of that, to get verified with an orange badge. And so for the majority of people who have Bitcoin or could obtain Bitcoin, that wouldn't be an issue. I don't think it would be a high price to pay, but the main thing it would do there is it would eliminate bots. And anybody who's been paying attention to Twitter at all for the last little while, especially to do with the elections and the big illness of 2020, we know how much of an impact these bots have actually had on manipulating people. Because there's accounts who Twitter would give a blue check mark to that would appear to have, say, 500,000 followers that actually are just all bots, the followers. So that it makes it appear an illusion. It makes it appear that there's a lot of people who support what these people are talking about, when in fact they don't. It's a complete illusion. So how does that tie in here? The orange check mark itself would verify that it's a real person who's following or who's doing this, and it would eliminate the bots. And it wouldn't be too much of a headache for me to do that, or anybody who could buy Bitcoin to deposit some Satoshis in a wallet within Twitter. But it would be almost impossible for any companies or entities who have these bot farms and who, just because of the high frequency of actions and tweets that these bots do on Twitter, it wouldn't be financially possible to do that in an orange checkmark world. So I think that could be a game changer for Twitter, in my opinion. Elon's also been talking about video and education and how that could be further utilized on Twitter, because so far we've only seen, it started out as just 140 characters, I think it was, and then they slowly introduced different types of video. But there hasn't been a whole lot of like live streaming and stuff really fully utilized on Twitter. So I think that Elon intends to move a lot of the people from YouTube onto Twitter. So it's kind of an all-in-one spot, which I think is genius. And I hope that comes to light, because there's a lot of opportunities, I think, within Twitter and the verification. And because YouTube currently, I shouldn't say this probably on YouTube, but YouTube is a lot closer aligned to the values of Twitter before Elon came onto the scene and purchased Twitter. And why I say that is because there's a bunch of people who I know don't know personally, I know of, because I follow them, who have had their YouTube accounts taken down because they're spreading the misinformation thing. And so I think that getting those people to move over to Twitter and have the same features in terms of being able to get compensated for their views and subscribers and stuff like that, I think would be a huge improvement. And the final thing is the voting. And so last week, Elon put out a tweet saying, should I reinstate former president, the 45th president, should I reinstate him? And 16 million people voted on this poll. 52% said yes. 48% said no. Those were the results of the poll. And I kind of mentioned before that aside from the check marks to verify people, they actually have the abilities within Twitter now, the analytics, they can see as soon as somebody votes or like clicks the heart button on Twitter, from what I understand is that the camera takes a picture of whoever did that to verify that that's a person. So if I clicked yes, the camera on my phone would instantly take a picture of me to verify that I'm a human. So the poll results said 52% yes, 48% no. And Elon kind of made a tweet afterwards. He said the results of this poll are staggering or something along those lines. So what I got from that and what a lot of other people got from it was that he's able to see what percent of that 52% was human versus bot and what percent of the 48% was a human versus a bot. So the polls itself, I think, could be a huge step forward for Twitter and for at a global level for stuff like that. But I also think it could be just as important. By the way, Elon did reinstate the former president's Twitter account. So he's back there. He hasn't tweeted yet, though, and everybody's kind of waiting for him to send out a tweet, but he hasn't yet. So there's been a lot of funny memes and stuff on that. But anyways, the point here is that I believe that something like this could be further utilized at a local level. So what does that mean? Think about our process right now where we vote for our, the prime minister, we vote for our premiers, we vote for our mayor, and then the council at a local level, right? There's a lot of people in government, and in my opinion, there might be some people pissed off about this, but I think there's a lot of wasted time and energy that go into our government. And that's a whole different conversation. I'm not going to get too far into that. But I believe that we should have much less government. We obviously need somebody in charge, making sure that everything's, civilized in a sense. Civilized is a weird word, but you know what I mean. I just think that government could shrink a lot. And we now have the technology to be able to do that and fulfill that. So think about this scenario. In my town that I live in, if everybody had, whether it's Twitter, I think that Twitter will probably explode in user growth if all of these things come to light. But if we had an app like Twitter or something tailored towards a local level, and so we had our mayor, we had our council, but instead of us voting on who the council is and then giving them all the ability to make the decisions from there, we vote on the council and the members who are in charge of governing, but we have the final say in terms of the different decisions that are made within our local area. And this could be at a federal level too, but I want to focus on a local level first. So think about this. We have our mayor, we have our council, and so these different ideas get brought to them, and then they in turn put it to a public vote. And so every citizen who is eligible to vote in this question, I guess you'd call it, or decision, has the ability to vote yes or no. So it would be like, should we invest in the golf course out here? Should we allocate $25,000 towards this project at the golf course? Yes or no? And so every citizen within the town gets on the app, yes or no. That's a decision. Should we allocate $100,000 to buying a new grader to make sure that the roads are all kept around this area? Yes or no? People vote yes. they put that $100,000 towards a new grader. It's a very decentralized way and a lot more fair, in my opinion, of making decisions at a local level. Because right now, people vote for what the leaders claim to support, right? These politicians, they make all these promises. They're going to reduce taxes. They're going to do this. And they have these different agenda items that they have. And usually the other side does not want that. So if it's like 48% vote for, say, this mayor and 52% vote for this mayor, they win. But the other 48% have to live with the decisions that they do not want, right? So it doesn't, I think it really, makes things a lot more brings things towards the center. I don't know what the word is, and I'm not going to try to say it right now, but it makes things more centered. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that I've spoken to, that I've been in touch with through the last couple of years, who just want something in between what we have right now. So it wouldn't matter what the party's agenda is or what they want to accomplish. That's up to us. And it's an item by item level instead of one vote and they get to decide things for the next 4 years. So as we utilize this technology that Twitter's kind of bringing to light right now, I think that this could have significant impacts on our future at a very local level. And like I said, you could use this at a provincial level as well. And at a federal level would be harder to do, and there'd be less specific questions. But that you tie that into the vote for the people at the top, it would be the same kind of thing. If you can verify people and verify the votes and have somebody audit that specifically, I think that would take a lot of the issues that we've seen with the elections lately out of question. So that's what I wanted to propose today. I wasn't sure how long this video would be. I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about how I think this could impact our future if we utilize it properly, because we already have the technology to do it. We just need people in place, the decision makers who bring this to light. And if there's enough of us who demand that they do that, or not demand, but ask that they do this, that's how change happens. And so maybe some elected leader in Manitoba or in anywhere in Manitoba or around the globe sees this, and they bring this to the next council meeting or whatever it may be. I know that typically governments do not want to shrink governments because that has a big impact in a direct way on their life, right? But sometimes the people get to decide. And I think that that's what will happen as we move into this decentralized world. I think that whether these politicians want it or not, and how long it'll take, I have no idea. But I think as we progress here and as people see that we have the technology to do this now, we can start to utilize it. So that's it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, or if you're watching this, send me an email, leave a comment below, whatever you want to do. Make sure to like this video if you're on the same page as I am in terms of reducing government and utilizing technology to make things more efficient. And be sure to subscribe and send this video to a couple friends and see what their opinion is on it. And like I said, the more that we can talk about these things, bring them to light, one day it might actually become a reality. So as always, I appreciate you for watching. And if you don't have a Twitter account yet, make sure you get on there, because I want to see this movement continue. And I think that the more people, the more like-minded people who value this kind of stuff, who are contributing, the better off it'll be. So once again, appreciate you very much, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.